So any one of these actions or emotions will pull you negative. All right, on the other side, we've got compassion, giving. You could say giving is more positive, helping somebody. We've got responsibility for your actions. We've got honesty and integrity. Okay. I'm sure you could think of a lot of other ones, but those are the pretty obvious ones. So, I guess if you had to pick a list of which you'd prefer to do, most people in the room would probably pick this one. However, we have all experienced these, and some people do on a daily and sometimes even a more frequent level than that even. Okay, so let's say this line is negative, so that's negative polarity. And this line is positive polarity. All right, so during the day, during a week, during a year, it's different for everybody. But what often happens is 1 minute you're saying, I love you to somebody, and the next minute you're swearing at the driver in the next lane. Let's make this the neutral line. All right. You have a good day at work, or you had a good experience, and of course then you had something that didn't really work out for you, and it pulls you into fear or stress. Okay, so this is what happens. Now this can be, some people can stay up here for different periods of time. Maybe they only have, maybe it looks more like this, but you get the picture. Every time you cross the neutral zone, you're living in chaos. Now, even if you live on one side of the neutral zone or the other for a period of time, if you're crossing the neutral zone, you are going to experience this. Now let's fill in these boxes here real quick. I want you to put in the first letter of each word here. So we got A, P, I, and I. So on the negative path, it's a pie, because everybody wants a piece of you. Okay? On the positive path, let's fill in those ones. We got L, A, U, G, H. We got laugh. Little acronym. Not acronym, but anyway, if you reorganize these last four words, you can say a hug, just for fun. In the middle, anybody filled that out yet? You have chaos. Unfortunately, from my experience, it appears that 90% of the world lives in chaos, because they haven't learned how to manifest what they want in life, either on the positive or negative path. They didn't know there was an importance to the choice. They didn't know there was a choice. They didn't know they were making the choice by every action they were taking. And ultimately, they're manifesting, in a lot of cases, not enough money to survive, not enough health to feel good, bad relationships, and you name it. You can imagine. And then most of you can look around and say, how many people have a totally positive life and are able to manifest whatever they want? And you probably all know people on this negative path who are able to manifest wealth and power. Doesn't mean they're happy. This is not necessarily about happiness. You can achieve happiness on either path. If you were to say, okay, who are some of the people on the negative side versus the positive side? Well, on the positive side, I could say, Abraham Lincoln, Jesus, maybe Gandhi, Buddha, who knows? I'm sure there are a lot more people than that. I might even put somebody like Paul Newman on there. I mean, he's got Newman's Own. He does a lot for charity. I mean, I would say he's a pretty powerful, positive person. He's been able to manifest, and I would say it was someone that... On this path, of course, you can tell. I mean, you can say start with Genghis Khan. You can say Hitler. I mean, yeah, I mean, it doesn't mean that they're going to live forever or live the life as long as somebody else might, but they manifested power, wealth. Maybe they didn't manifest health. You know, again, it doesn't. This is not completely about balance. After all, they have their heart chakra closed on this side, so they can't be completely in balance, but they can still manifest great things if you polarize one way or the other. And you can see that this is pretty much how governments operate in corporations, and which is, you know, the more controlling ones tend to be more wealthy and more powerful. Okay, let's talk about some of the details of this. One of the things on the service to self side is, and again, the pyramid structure. The person at the top obviously controls the people right directly underneath them. He teaches them how to control. They further teach the people below them how to control. But he never teaches them enough to reach his level of control. They always keep them subservient. He has to. This is also why some people always have to have somebody around them. If you have full release, you'll feel completely comfortable being alone. A controlling person always has to have people around them to make them feel good, because they have to take energy at all times to feel good, to feel healthy. Okay, so let's talk about every experience has polarity. We talked about that. Let's talk about some of the things that people don't pay attention to that has impact on you. Let's talk about music, the lyrics versus the melody, impact on the subconscious mind and the programming. Well, you know, most people have their own preference to music. Oftentimes it has to do with what chakra it triggers. Bassy music will be the lower chakras. The higher tones will be the higher chakras. So some people are attracted to music based on what their chakras need. Okay, and that's again the melody and not the lyrics. The lyrics, unfortunately, often go unnoticed. And that's a real tragedy. Because if you listen to some of the words in these songs, I mean, they talk about terrible things in people's lives, and that's programming. And people don't like to think about the subliminal programming that we get every day from the TV and from the exposures, the news, and things of that. But music being something that most people like and find comfort with it, I would say pay attention. Because I found that some music that I thought I liked, and I listened to the words, I said, enough of that. You know, I don't need that kind of programming. Again, we're talking about moving to one side or the other. So making choices on everything you think and act is important. That's how you polarize yourself, one way or the other. So if you recognize, and again, it's down to the awareness. If you recognize something is good or bad for you and the polarity that you want to achieve, and again, I'm not biased. I mean, it doesn't matter to the universe which side you take. It's not important. The point is that if you don't choose, then you live here. And most people are making that choice without knowing it, because just based on their thoughts and actions, they are making a choice of where they live, what side they live on. So again, so pay attention to the lyrics and the melody. I mean, some music is more calming than others. I think everybody could agree that they've heard music that puts them at peace and other music that makes them agitated. Pay attention. Make a choice. Determine what you want to listen to. Okay, news, media, and experiences. We talked about that. You become that which you're exposed to. Again, programming. Your energy, your consciousness is being programmed every minute of the day, every minute, every second of the day. So it makes sense that if you're going to be exposed to news, which is fear-based and hate-based, then you're going to have those kinds of things programmed. And so the real question is do you really need to listen to the news, or is there another form of news that makes more sense for your polarity?